ferns. Well, we started when it was decided to evacuate. First of all, something happened that was, first of all, Holland capitulated, and then, without any warning, Belgium did the same. And the Belgians had been on our left flank. Our left flank was left wide open. We had no cover. Had the Germans raced through with their tanks, they would have caught us. But we were somewhere south of Lille. The whole of the BAF was in an area south of Lille, and it was decided that further fighting was useless because we didn't have the stuff to do it with. So we started to work our way westwards to the coast, a distance of about 50 miles. Only have what we already carried, what we'd already got, yeah. So by the time we, General Allenbrook was our corps commander, so he took 2nd Corps right across under the noses of the Germans to cover where the Belgians had capitulated, to the whole area. So 2 Corps was in the northern, the Belgian part, and 1st Corps was in the French part of the perimeter, which we eventually moved into. And our division, 4th Division, was at the very top of the perimeter on the Belgian side. And from there, we fired off all our ammunition at the Germans. We must have caused a lot of casualties among the Germans, but of course we would continue all day long, we were firing. And then when the ammunition was exhausted, and all the petrol had already gone, and all the food and drinking water, then we started to, we walked the 18 miles or so towards the port of Dunkirk. Blew them up, set light to them, and we blew the guns up. You put one round in the breech in the normal way, you put another round down the spout, and then you fire, and it blows the whole thing apart. We did that with the 24 guns which we had in our regiment. And all the vehicles we destroyed, and sometimes it in the engine, hitting the engines with sledgehammers. And then when all the vehicles had been destroyed and the guns blown up, and then we started to make our way on foot 18 miles towards Dunkirk. We'd had no sleep, no proper sleep, because we were, as I say, we've been fighting by day, we've been moving by night. We'd had no proper sleep for at least 2 or 3 weeks, and we'd had no food we were in our 3rd or 4th day without any food or even drinking. See, the whole of Belgium was deserted. Padlocked. The shutters were drawn and locked. All the doors were locked. As we were going along, we kept searching for water. We couldn't find any. Sometimes we were drinking ditch water, pond water. we were surviving somehow. Yeah, there was wounded. There was most of the wounded had been evacuated. When we first moved into the perimeter, there were still vehicles which they were coming round the regiments, picking up wounded and taking them, and they were being evacuated. But the fighting part of the army still had to carry on. And when we walked the best way we could, marching was out of the question. Some of us, the infantry were in a worse state. We were artillery, but the infantry were worse off than us because they'd never been off their feet. They hadn't been off their feet for 2 or 3 weeks, let alone we did. When we had petrol, we did sit down in the vehicles. So we were bad enough, but they were worse. We entered the last town on in Belgium, before you get to the French frontier on the coast, is a place called Depan, and it is to Depan we go every year on a pilgrimage, and it's in Depan that we stay in a hotel, but that's in the future. When we got to Depan, between Depan and Dunkirk, there's a coast road, there's the canal, and then the sand dunes, and then the sea, a stretch of beach, and then the sea. So you've got the sea, a stretch of beach, the sand dunes, the canal, the coast road. Now we came along the coast road and then we went over the canal, but some bridges had been left intact. Once we'd all got over, the bridges were blown up. And then we had we didn't get any orders. There were no orders given. Now the British Army will never give the order every man for himself. But we all knew that was the situation. Everybody knew that was the situation, and all we got was some advice. There was an officer stood in Depan, and he looked tired out. He'd been standing there giving advice to troops as they were passing through along the coast road, making their way towards Dunkirk. And the advice he was giving us was this. He says, don't go into Dunkirk, that's finished. And looking right along the coast, in the distance, we could see the port of Dunkirk, could see what was going on. It was covered in black smoke. There were explosions in the town, and there were explosions out at sea, and there was fires raging all over the place. And he says, Dunkirk is out of the question. He says, get in the sand dunes, and it's reasonably safe in the sand dunes. Get over the canal, into the dunes, and in sand dunes you can hide thousands of men. And he said, and don't try to cross the beach during the day, because the German planes are strafing the beaches from daylight until dark. He says, so keep off the beaches.